Hi everybody, so today I'm going to do a video about my Christmas planning for 2023. So I've done quite a lot of Christmas planner videos before in the past, and ordinarily, or until now, I've done everything in a ring bound. So I've got quite a few videos on my YouTube channel showing you how I did ring bound Christmas planning. When I was living in Japan, I had a really gorgeous A5 Filofax original in the red. And that's where I started out doing Christmas planning. Absolutely loved using that one. I did leave it behind when we moved back to the UK, and I brought a personal size Finchley, I think it was, Filofax. And I did plan in that last year, but I felt sort of squished by the size, and the rings annoyed me more. I find the rings don't annoy me so much in a A5 ring bound, but they do in a personal. So I didn't really enjoy it. So this year, when I thought about doing my Christmas planning, I was like, what shall I do? Because I don't have my big A5 one. So I thought I'll just do something completely different. So actually, when I was back in Japan during the summer, I went and grabbed, because rather than bringing back the A5 leather one, because it's very, very heavy, what I thought I'd do was go and grab a fabric traveller's notebook cover that I'd made probably a couple of years ago now, and I never used it. I just really wanted to make a Christmas traveller's notebook cover because I really like the idea of it being cozy and squishy and Christmassy yummy like that, just really like, I don't know, cuddly. So I'd made the cover and then never used it, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to use it this year. I'm going to do a traveller's notebook style planner. So printing out and making up all the pages, the inserts to go in ring bound it's a lot of work, because you've got to get them the right size and get everything in the right order. You know, if you're printing things back to back, you have to be really careful when you're printing. Obviously, you have to have a printer that will print on A5, or if you're going to do personal size, it's even faffier because you've got to print on personal size paper or cut it down. And didn't obviously do all the hole punching. So I thought I'm just going to stick to using a notebook. And lo and behold, on my shelf, I had some little Midori notebooks. So I thought I'm just going to do that. It's going to be lovely because it's all going to be contained within one sort of, they're staple bound notebook. And obviously the Midori paper is very nice, and I'm very happy to use it, and it will fit into my traveller's notebook lovely. So that is how I'm going to plan for this year. So as I mentioned, my main planner is going to be the Midori MD Notebook Lite in A5 grid, and you get 3 of those in a packet. I'm just showing you my little, it's supposed to be a clip magnet, but it's so weak. It doesn't really work very well. It'll but just about hold one piece of paper. But this magnet that I'd made ages ago from laminating a sticker, I think, has been with me in my planners since I started Christmas planning. So that's quite a nice bit of continuity. I brought that back with me from Japan. So yeah, as I said, just kind of quite minimal decoration, to be honest, on the front. I've just written I stuck down a little washi tape that says Happy Holidays, and I've just stuck a little picture of a mouse with a candy cane because it's a super cute illustration. I can't remember the illustrator's name on the top of my head, but it's somebody Tripp, I think, with 2 P's. So yeah, that is going to be my main planner insert. So this will basically replace all of my individual planner sheets I used to print out to put inside my Filofax. I do also have this notebook, which a friend bought me, so I don't know exactly what kind of notebook it is, but my friend ordered it from a company called Coppertop Cards, I think. I'm guessing off Etsy. It's quite thick paper. It feels like recycled sort of mixed media paper. But since I haven't got a use for it yet, I'm going to pop that in the back of the Traveller's Notebook as a second insert. I might use it for a scrapbook, or I might use it for sort of extra ideas or sketchbook. I'm not quite sure yet, but the main planner is going to be the Midori one at the front. So that very weak little magnet clip is holding on the inside, sort of like a master to-do list. And I just went through my planner from last year, and I just wrote down roughly all the things that I'd covered in the planner on a list on a random piece of paper, and I just shoved it in the front there because obviously I need to work out how I'm going to set this notebook up. I've also got a bunch of cute little bits that I've sort of pulled out as well. I'm sort of working with very little again, which is good because I quite like to do that at the start of a Christmas season, is to start off with sort of fresh ephemera and things like that. But these are a few things that I've brought with me, either from previous planners or from previous journals. Little bookmark there on the left from Japan, and then some images from Pinterest and some washi tape samples. I just like to have things like that with me in my planner to sort of get me in the mood. So because I do a junk journal or a Christmas journal every year as well, the two kind of overlap for me, and the inspiration I'm getting from these pictures is probably more likely to end up in my Christmas journal rather than in my planner. But everything sort of starts off in my planner, and I usually have a section dedicated to Christmas journal ideas, what I'm going to do for my journal this year, and things like that. And I don't yet exactly know what I'm doing, but I will be doing videos to show what I do end up doing, if you know what I mean. And you can see that I've got some quite cute little animal illustrations. So I don't know if that's going to be a direction I'm heading in. I'm not quite sure yet. Obviously, I'd love illustrations. I love children's illustrations. So they will probably feature in there somehow, but I'm not quite sure exactly how yet. But yeah, everything, if I don't know where it's going to go yet, it'll get shoved into my sort of planner. And I do have more washi tape than this. I do actually have a box full of things. Having said don't have much and I'm starting from nothing. Massive exaggeration, because I obviously have a massive box file of bits and bobs that I've most of it came from last year and I've just been saving it. But I need to go through that at some point to kind of work out what to use and not use. But yeah, I just like to have a few bits of washi tape with me, with my planner, just in case I need to stick anything in. Now this illustration is from a long time ago. I think it's from like 2018, maybe. I remember doing it on the decking outside the front of the house in Japan in the sunshine. And I didn't do anything with it, and I'm looking at it and thinking that might be quite a fun sort of warm-up exercise. Not quite sure yet. That might end up on a Patreon calendar actually, thinking out loud here, because that would be a really nice size. I might do that for the December calendar. There you go, heard it here first, because I heard it here first. Anyway, so as you can see at this point, obviously all the pages are blank and I need to work out how on earth to get all of those things I need to make notes about onto the pages. And I am going to have to decide what goes on each page ahead of time. It's not like with ring bound, you can sort of be quite flexible with it. So I need to be careful about leaving enough space for each category. But that will be easy enough to work out later on. So the plan is to make stickers. So whereas before I made the actual sheets, like the A5 sheets or the personal sheets to go in a planner, so that I had all the headings on ready. The plan is to make stickers. So that's what I've done. So I'll just work out which pages each header needs to go on, and then I'll put the sticker on it. For that particular page. Oh, I'm just showing you this little illustration I did. That's going to go on all of the video sort of title screens on YouTube. I quite like that, so I thought I'd show that. You will have seen it at the beginning of this video anyway. Yeah, so I was working on all of my categories and it took quite a while to get everything. I wanted to get it all on an A4 page because the plan is to share this with Patreons. And obviously eventually make this available for sale probably next year, but for now, for this year, it's going to be a Patreon exclusive. But basically I spent ages and I did it, and I got everything that I need onto little tiny stickers. So they're not huge stickers, but that's fine because I don't want them to take over the page obviously, so they will fit nicely at the top of all my little A5 pages. So I've got all my categories, like my budget headers, gift things, advent things, yeah, and quite a few little doodles in between. I went for kind of an easy theme. I say easy because there's nothing groundbreaking here. It's just the usual mushrooms and mugs of, I don't know, hot chocolate, whatever it is, and planners and things. It's nothing outside of my comfort zone, but it is sort of my little cozy Christmas zone that I like to get into at this time of year. So next step is to print these all out and cut them up. So I'm having a little bit of trouble finding a decent quality printer paper, like sticker paper. I've been spoilt with having really gorgeous high quality sticker paper in Japan, and I cannot find any here that's sort of like decent high quality matte surface on the top of the paper, but is actually sticker paper. So I've got some really good quality normal paper, but sticker paper is coming up a little bit too matte, a little bit too textured, so the fine detail of the drawing's a bit lost on it. So if anybody can recommend A4 sticker paper to me in the UK, that would be amazing. And here are the stickers. So I'm going to just leave this running, play a little bit of music so you can have a look at them all, because once I stick them in my book they're going to be a little bit hard to see, so I thought you might like to have a good look at everything that I've done. Okay, so all of my header stickers are now stuck in my notebook, so I'm going to give you sort of a guide tour through it to show you what I've done with them all. I stuck 3 little sort of icon stickers on the front because I wanted to have some of my drawings on the front too. So I've got the little mushroom, the tree, and the 2 little Alfie dudes. And then I did do some tabs along the top. So these are post-it, they're quite removable sort of post-it tab sticky note things, I don't know what they're called. They're quite tough ones, and I stuck little images on each of them, and I had to sort of trim them very, very small. Trimmed off almost all of the white outline just so they'd be small enough to go on them. And then I used this Mackie pen, which is it's basically a permanent marker pen, to just write the titles of my categories along the top, which haven't changed. They're all the same as I used to do. So a general section called 2023. I have an advent section, cards, gifts, food, and decor. So yeah, this is the start of my sort of general section, and I decided to use a fountain pen with some Christmassy ink in, because why not? So the ink is by Diamine, and it's called Emerald ink. So I'll just show you the package there. I started buying Diamine inks since I moved to the UK because they are produced in the UK, and obviously the ones from everywhere else are a lot more expensive and have to be imported. But they've got a wonderful range of colours at Diamine, so I'm quite happy to do that for now. So I've got my nice Christmassy ink ready, and this page I just used to write a few notes about what generally I wanted to do this year, a bit of a wish list, a very small beginner to-do list. I do have to make a massive to-do list to go on the front with everything broken down, what I need to do. And then this is me working out how many pages I need for each section. So looking at what I used last year, I sort of divided the pages up by category. because I kind of know which ones I'm going to need more space for and which ones I'll need less for. And I've written it in here so that next year, if I do the same thing, I can just look back and refer to it. So the next thing I have in my sort of general section is my budget. So I've got a budget page here, and then at the bottom I have it broken down into the 5 areas of spending. And I'm probably going to put like a sort of broken down budget, and I've left spare blank pages, as you can see on the left, to put any extra notes, but I can also tip stuff in if I need to do that. But yeah, that's my budget page, and then over this page I've got spending. So I actually forgot to make a sticker saying spending, so that's something I need to remember next year. Didn't do that one, so I just ended up writing on a sort of a clear Post-it note and stuck that one in there. I've done my usual categories: date, category, item, cost, and then the running total, so I can kind of keep tabs on my spending. Budget notes for next year, so if I have anything that I'm thinking, okay, next year I need to do it differently, I've got a space to do that one. And then general notes for next year, so sort of general notes about Christmas, next year, what I'm going to do. And then we get to the next section, which is Advent. So we've got an Advent wish list. So I'll just put things there about what I want to do this sort of Advent, so the whole of the run up to Christmas, basically. Dates and events, important dates and events, and notes about my son's Advent calendar, things I might want to put in for this year, because he's still young enough to enjoy it. Advent activities, Christmas reading, if you read any books, and Christmas films and TV, which is quite small, but I'm sure we'll get around to watching something. And the next page is Christmas journal ideas. So I've got a big double page spread for me to write down ideas for how I want to do my Christmas journal this year. Next page is Advent notes for next year. So anything I want to do differently. So my next section is cards. I might design a card this year, so I've left myself a bit of space to work that out. Then I've got postage notes, so any notes about last postage or costs and things like that. Then I have cards to send, checklists, so this will be a list of people I'm actually going to send cards to, and card notes for next year. Next section is gifts, so gift ideas for 2023, just like my initial ideas about what I can get people. Any ideas that come up as I go, I can jot them down. This is going to be where I do sort of detailed things about what I actually buy people. So it's obviously blank and it will be top secret from now on. And then gifts given will be finally what I do. And I'll probably have a checklist of like if they're wrapped and if I've passed them over or not on there. My own or our gift wish list is going to be on here, so if I think of anything that I quite like for Christmas, I'll put it there, just in case anybody asks. And then gifts received. And then over the page, gift notes for next year. Next section is food. So wish list, anything I want to do this year differently or anything I particularly want to cook. Christmas recipes to try. And then food favourites, so if there was anything that we particularly enjoyed this year, I'll write them down, and then food notes for next year. And the next section is decor. So there's quite a lot of space on the left. I'll probably do like a bit of a mood board. Decor wish list on the right. Then I've got a big space for decor projects, because normally if I do like a craft project at Christmas, it's normally some sort of home decor, so I might do that this year. And then decor notes for next year, and then I think we're coming to the end. Yeah. So I've got everything in, everything ready to fill in, and it's basically all good to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down in the description below this video, I'm just going to write out all my categories, just in case you are interested in doing the same thing in your own planner. Obviously the stickers are going to be available to Patreon members only, and that's actually because I'm just really sick of Etsy. I don't want to sell on there anymore. It's a hell of a lot of work, and then so much competition on there, and I'm quite happy just to kind of share things locally just with my little group of patrons. So sorry about that if you were hoping to see those on Etsy, but it's actually cheaper in the end to go to Patreon. You get loads more for your money, so definitely worth checking that one out. And I've got all the rest of my stickers already cut up, all ready to go. I'll just show you, and so instead of sticking the stickers down onto a blank page, I just did a really simple decoration of a sort of like a swipe of these Tombow brush pens along the top, and then some random sort of usually check washi tape underneath each sticker. Because I just didn't want them to go on the page completely like blank, although you probably could do that, there'd be no problem doing that, but I just wanted to put a little bit underneath. So you can go back and pause the video if you want to see which colours I used. And that's about it really. I don't know if I have anything else to say other than I hope you enjoyed the video, obviously, and I will do another one probably to update how I used it. But the next set of Christmas videos is probably going to be making a journal. I've got some ideas already about how I'm going to do a Christmas journal this year. So if you're interested in seeing what I do this year, then obviously stick around and subscribe and watch out for those videos, and I will see you again soon. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!